Hello everyone, I am Dr. Digambar Ghodke from the Department of English. Welcome to this series of lessons on research methodology. This is lesson number 1. Let's begin with the discussion on the meaning and characteristics of the term research. The word research has two parts, re, which means again, and search to mean find. Together it means taking up an activity to look into something once again or looking for some new information about something. Research is an act of finding new facts and information. It helps us verify the available knowledge, question things, and find answers to these questions or solve problems. In other words, research is the systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources to establish facts and reach new conclusions. While underscoring the significance of research, Hudson Maxim states, I quote, "All progress is born of inquiry. Doubt is often better than overconfidence, for it leads to inquiry and inquiry leads to invention." Unquote. Clifford Woody states, research comprises defining and redefining problems, formulation of hypotheses, collection, organizing and evaluation of data, and reaching conclusions. D. Selsinger and M. Stephenson in the Encyclopedia of Social Science Research define research as, I quote, the manipulation of things, concepts or symbols for the purpose of generalizing to extend, correct or verify knowledge, whether that knowledge aids in construction of theory or in the practice of an art. Unquote. According to Thayer, I quote, the word research is composed of two syllables, re and search. Re is a prefix meaning again, anew or over again. Search is a verb meaning to examine closely and carefully, to test and try, or to probe. Together they form a noun describing a careful, systematic, patient study and investigation in some field of knowledge undertaken to establish facts or principles. As per the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, the word research is derived from the Middle French recherche, which means to go about seeking. The term itself being derived from the Old French term recherche, which is a compound word from re, chercher or searcher, meaning search. The earliest recorded use of the term was in 1577. Research is a structured inquiry that utilizes acceptable scientific methodology to solve problems and create new knowledge that is generally applicable. According to Rocco, research is a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. Having understood different definitions of the term research, now we shall go ahead with some of the characteristics of research. The first and foremost characteristics of the research is objectivity and unbiasedness. Research is supposed to be free from any personal and other sorts of biases. An objective and unbiased approach will make the research error-free as well. For example, the statement, when I read Daniel Pink's Drive, I was impressed by his research on motivation is an example of a subjective statement, while Daniel Pink's book Drive presents his impressive research on motivation is an example of objectivity. The next characteristic of research is reliability. Reliability is a characteristic of research that is expected to generate the same results repeatedly, making it consistent. The higher the level of consistency, the higher the reliability of the study. For example, if you weigh an object multiple times and always get the same result, the results are reliable. For this, samples need to be representative, questions or processes need to be uniform, and data would generally need to be quantitative. The third characteristic of a good research is its validity. Validity means that the research should be measuring and following the processes which it is expected to do. There are several types of fact, such as internal validity, external validity, face validity, content validity, criterion validity, and construct validity. The next characteristic is accuracy. By accuracy, we mean the methods and tools of measurement are ideal. Credibility is one more characteristic of a good research. The data and techniques used in research should be best and most cost effective. Another feature is generalizability. This means that the research outcome should apply to a much larger population. Empirical research means that research should be based on real life experiences. This is another characteristic of a good research. Research should be systematic and logical. It should follow systematic steps and techniques based on a certain logic. That is the characteristic of a good research. In research, we have control factors, and every research, certain factors affect the study, but they need to be held while doing research. Another characteristics of a research is it is cyclical. It should be such that it should start with a problem and there should always be further scope for working on it. Replicability is one more characteristics of the research. It means the same research should give the same results if done by anyone else. Thus, through this discussion, we understand that research is a continuous activity which is helpful in critical assessment of the way we work, execute policies, and give instructions in our professions. In conclusions, we can say that research is a systematic observation of processes to find better ways to do things and to reduce the effort being put in to achieve an objective and identify the validity of the targets. Research is a subconscious activity that we are involved in at all times, whether it is the purchase of a daily use articles, a car, an electronic goods, or anything else. Research is a process of discovering new knowledge to find answers to questions. I hope this was a fruitful session for you. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.